fans. I'm Adam Harry with
JR.
And we are back from Gen Con with a copy of
Legend of the Five Rings, the card game.
Dun, dun, dun. Are you excited about this one?
I'm very excited.
I'm so excited about this one.
So it is the first like new L5R thing in a while. FFG has picked up the license, and I'm sure they're working on a whole bunch of other stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. A whole bunch of other stuff. This game is absolutely gorgeous. Like, the artwork is incredible. They've been putting on a lot of story stuff to kind of get people up into the world, because it's changed a little bit. If you're familiar with L5R lore, this is set back before the Day of Thunder. And they've made some slight changes, and the story is going to change because it's an LCG based on the actions of the players. At Gen Con, in fact, they had their first story event. But let's... So, before we jump into it exactly, like, what is L5R? Okay. If you have no idea, I don't know what L5R is. What would you say to me? Legend of the Five Rings is a... basically, it's a card game set in feudal Japan. Okay. Or a... mystical allegory of Japan, right? Yep. Players take control of one of the, right now, 5 different houses. Gotcha. Or clans. Clans, and they're all vying for supremacy. I'm sure I got the number wrong, but there are multiple clans vying for supremacy. There's Crab, Phoenix, Unicorn, Scorpion, Dragon, Scorpion, and Crane. Yep. Yeah, there we go. I knew it was 6. But there are 5 rings, is where I was going. And so basically, in the game, you're sort of solving the conflicts of the land, right? Okay. Because it all takes place in Rokugan, which is that's the Emerald Empire. Which is beset on one side by demons and shadow creatures, and from within by famine and strife, and peasants are turning to banditry. But in terms of like gameplay, are we playing against each other? Is this co-op? Oh yeah, no, we're playing against each other. We are warring clans, trying to defeat each other and take control of their territory. Okay. And that's sort of the way the game works. Is you'll set up a stronghold and attack your enemy. And vice versa. Now that we've gotten through that, let's crack this box open. Okay. Now I knew most of that. I just wanted to, because this is a brand new product from FFG. It's not a brand new game, but I mean it is now. So yes. Hey, gotta have one of those. All right. It's a catalog that isn't about L5R though. I guess that makes sense. Here's the Learn to Play guide, which we'll go through shortly. I'm gonna put this to the side. It looks real quick though. It's 36 pages, full color, pretty dense. I like it. It's an FFG product, so gotta have punch-outs. What would it be if we didn't? And this is enough for 2 players, is that correct? Yes. Now you might not be able to make all of the decks, kind of like Netrunner or Arkham Horror. It's enough for 2 players to play, but you can't really customize. This is the starter or the core set. You can get more and build like what you're wanting from. Those are the tokens for the dials. And you have the honored and dishonored cards here. Yep. So, okay. And then just to be on the safe side, just to see, it doesn't look like they're pulling a secret Cards Against Humanity on us. So that's everything that's in the box. I'm gonna go ahead and open up one of these decks. And let's start going through some of the cards. I'm gonna open up the other one. And again, there are multiple clans represented in the box. Ideally, as more expansion packs come out, you'll be able to customize your deck further. I think for the most part, you're gonna have a play set for most of the cards in here. You may have to pick up another set if you want to do any serious deck customizing. Yes. But you should have a ton of... Yeah, so real quick, here's the backs of the cards. Yeah. It's really pretty art. They're absolutely just gorgeous. Yeah, so that's... These are cards that are going to go in your deck. And then these are separate cards. I think these are... there are a bunch of different kinds of cards. Yeah, so everyone sets up their... their provinces, which are these guys. Each person has like 4 provinces and picks 1 stronghold. So these provinces are things like fertile fields, which lets you, when people are fighting over that, you get to draw a card. They have different effects depending on what you're doing. Stronghold and province cards, yep. Yep.
Okay.
That's what these guys are, and they can be things like just a simple cavalry outpost, a secret city of the open-handed scorpion layer.
There's 117 dynasty cards, which are these, I believe. So these are the white-backed cards. And then there are also black-backed cards, which are called conflict cards.
Yes. The conflict cards are all about. Some of them are like strategies or tactics. If you've played Magic, they're a little bit like your sorceries or interrupts or instants. They're cards that you can play during the other person's turn, but they're also characters. So like, you've got Charge here, which lets you send someone to a conflict, and they all have like a cost. But
they're used to resolve the conflict.
Yeah, and then like if we come back here to where you got these guys here that let you buff or debuff your opponent's characters, and then finally you've got your just normal characters. These are people that would fit in with whatever house or clan you want to control.
Okay, those are the neutrals.
Yeah, those are the neutrals.
There are also 5 roll cards, which are those. These are double-sided.
There's 5.
Yep. And these are the different roll cards.
Air, Earth, Fire, Water, Void. I believe it's the same. Oh no, there's different effects, right? Cause on the one hand, there's being the Seeker, and then on the other hand is being the Keeper, and which you are depends on whether or not you've claimed one of the elemental rings, which is another gameplay mechanic. Yeah. It's complex, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
it is complex, but that's why it's cool. Like, it's just a very different take.
Yeah.
But as you can see, real quick, if we're breaking down a card, the art on the card is fantastic. Love the fantastical Japan style art.
And then you also have, like, every character has a fate cost. That's when they show up, they get so much fate, it'll kind of vanish over the course of the game.
Yep.
They have both military and political skill, because there's more than one way to fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
A lot of cool stuff. That's the basics for the card decks. Let's go ahead and pause real quick, and we'll flip through the Learn to Play book real fast.
Sure.
All right, here's the Learn to Play guide.
Yep.
We're going to flip through real quick. And frame up. And then, so quick game overview. We've talked about that. We can keep going. This is a living card game, so if you buy this box, they're not random.
No.
It's the same set of cards in each and every box.
Yep.
When they come out with expansions, it's, again, not random. Every expansion pack will have the exact same cards, so there's no need to worry about getting random junk.
Like commons or rares.
I
or
need a rare,
like
I need an ultra.
Yeah, you'll have the cards you need in the sets to build the deck you want.
Here's a breakdown of all of the different stuff that we talked about already.
And then here's sort of a sample.
Yeah, game setup. That's kind of how that goes.
There's the provinces and stuff.
Yep, that we were talking about earlier.
The dynasty deck, conflict deck, your provinces and your stronghold, and then where your dudes hang out. Flipping through the rules. The game is.
Let's go. The phases are right here.
Yeah, there it is. The game is broken down into 5 different phases. There's the dynasty phase, where you sort of get everything ready and do all of your.
A lot of people call that like the upkeep step.
Exactly.
Then there's the draw.
Which is pretty easy.
Then there's the conflict, fate, and then regroup.
Yep. And so conflict, as you might expect, is where all of the fighting happens. It's where a lot of the meat and potatoes of the game are. But when conflicts are resolved, you get to claim one of the 5 elemental rings. Air, Earth, Fire, Water, and Void, and they all can change the next phase of the game. And then they've got like some sample turns, because the game has a lot of depth to it, and they want to make sure that you understand it. But that can change how winning or losing a conflict can change how things work in the fate, and in what you do when you regroup. So every phase kind of matters, and there's like important decisions to be made.
It's not like, I hate to keep going back to it, but it's not like Magic where it's like upkeep, do stuff, second main phase. It's not like that.
No,
this is a very different play style.
Definitely.
Very different game. But that's the game everybody knows how to play.
So
we have to reference that. So
then there's some more lore on the setting, some advice on deck building.
Yeah, these are actually the deck construction rules. So once you play through, I would recommend playing some sample decks first, just to get the hang of the game. But then once you do get the hang of the game, it's got deck building rules and mechanics and how to do that. You can't just take any card and put it in your deck. There are certain restrictions, and a lot of it has to do with the influence of that card and how that all works out. So we're not going to cover all that, but just note that that is a thing in the game.
Yeah, and then kind of moving along.
Because the different clans play differently.
It's true.
So, like, a Scorpion clan is going to play very differently than the Crab clan or the
Crane clan. Yeah, for sure. Because they've all got their own theme, and FFG does a really good job of making sure, and Lion Clan, I forgot them, making sure that everyone kind of feels like their mechanics are in line with what their lore says they should be doing.
Was that 7 clans? I think there's 7. So Unicorn, Scorpion, Phoenix, Lion, Dragon, Crane and Crab.
Yep.
So yeah, 7 different clans. So sorry, we forgot one earlier. JR was trying to remember off the top of his head. Yeah. I didn't even know off the top of my head. So props.
I left out the Lion clan.
He's a lion.
Right.
They're lazy. They're just lying around.
And then they talk about like the advanced concepts in the game, because there's always another layer to get into.
It's like tiramisu, man. Just layers.
Layers. Or a parfait.
Or an onion.
Or an ogre.
There's a real quick reference cheat sheet here in the back too. So once you're familiar with the game, just keep that out. Just keep it handy. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in the box for Legend of the Five Rings. This is one of those games I want to play more.
Yeah.
We got to see it at Gen Con. Pretty cool stuff. They had a massive tournament.
Yeah, they had a tournament that is in fact the first like big story decision happened.
Yeah.
The winners of the tournament got to like take on the role of someone who would decide stuff, and they got to cast the deciding votes on what would happen in the story. And so now everything else that comes out will be changed as a result.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about it. We're excited to see what FFG does in the future with more expansions to the card game, the LCG, and also whatever else they're going to do with the property, because it's such a cool property.
And they bought the license to it, so they can do...
They have it outright.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want with it. They could make an RPG, they could make...
Miniatures
game.
Yeah. Board games.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do with it, we are stoked to see it. We want to see more Five Rings stuff. So that's L5R. I'm Adam Harry.
I'm JR.
We're both from BoLS. Thanks for watching.